Welcome everybody, welcome to my channel. Today is pajamas and crafts. So I'm excited about today. We're going to be making a dog wreath and it's going to be a farmhouse style. So I think it's going to come out really pretty. I've done one of these before and everybody loves this wreath. So I'm going to change it up just a little bit. I'm going to add 3 bows instead of my normal 1 bow that I do. We're going to see how it comes out. If I like it, I'm going to keep it. If not, I'm just going to go ahead and make 1 bow. So we're going to learn something together today. And let's get started. My supplies are going to be 1 roll of 21-inch mesh right here, 2 rolls of the 9.5-inch mesh, and I don't even use a full 2 rolls. I just use probably 1.5, and that's perfect. And we are going to cut the 9.5-inch rolls into 30 inches. So it's going to be 30 inches long is what we want to cut these at. And that's going to help us make the woodland ruffle. We're also going to need some ribbon. I use 6 different ribbons. I'm going to be using this ribbon right here with the dog paws and the bones. I'm going to be using this right here, which is polka dots. I like to use different shapes. I think it makes the wreath come out so much better. I'm going to use this with the brown and the black because it's going to tie into the centerpiece. It's going to bring the black into the wreath so the centerpiece does not look too funny in the middle of it. I'm going to use this right here. This is double-sided, so this side is just the checkered plaid, and then this side has the bones and the little paws on it, and it's really cute. And I'm also going to use this. So as you can tell, it's a really neutral wreath that I'm making, so it's pretty farmhouse style. And I like it. It's really cute. I made one before, and it sold really quick, and I sold it for $85. I tend to sell my wreaths that I sell for $85 because of the area that I'm in. They seem to go fast when I sell them for $85. So that's good to me. I know I can get a lot more for these wreaths. I know I can get probably $125 if I really worked at it, but to me, time is valuable. The faster I can get them out of my house, the better off I am. So $85 is what I like to sell mine for. If I do something extraordinary, I'll sell it for a little bit more, but for the most part, these I sell for $85. I'm happy as long as I can get my money back for the supplies, to be honest with you, because I love making them so much that that's just really all that matters to me. All right, so with that, you're also going to need some wire cutters. You're going to need your hot glue gun with some glue sticks. Oh, and I'm going to use this ribbon too. Sorry, I haven't cut it yet because I'm going to be cutting that to show you how I cut my ribbon and stuff. And you're also going to need a wreath form. I like the wreath form that has the thicker pipe cleaners on it. It's a little heavier, and then it also, I feel like it holds the mesh a little bit better. So with that being said, let's get started. First, I'm going to show you how I cut my ribbon and how I cut my mesh. That way I've already pre-cut a lot of it, so we're good with that. I'm just going to show you a few, and we will go from there. You can use scissors, but I do use a roll cutter. And how I do this is I pull my mesh out, and I measure it 30 inches. 30 inches is what I do. So my mat only goes to 24, so I have to pull some more, and then I just cut. And then you just firmly push down on the mesh and you just cut it, and there it naturally rolls just like that, and it sets you up for the perfect way to place those into the mesh or into the wreath form. And if you go over 30 inches or a little bit under 30 inches, it's not really going to matter. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. It's not rocket science and it's not baking, so I think we're good. So that's how I cut my 9.5-inch mesh. How I do my ribbon is I cut them 14 inches. 14 inches is my ribbon length. So I do use some scissors for this part because I don't want to dull my roll cutter. So you just measure 14 inches. And you just cut, and you're gonna cut 6. So you're gonna need 14 inches of each ribbon and 6 pieces each. So, we're gonna okay, so there's my 6 pieces of this ribbon right here. And then we're gonna dovetail the ribbon. And how we dovetail these, I usually have a bowl handy, that way I can just throw all my pieces into this bowl and throw them all away at one time. So you're gonna take your ribbon and you're going to fold it over. So you're gonna cut from this side to the open side, and you're gonna go from down to up. So again, you take your ribbon, you fold it over, you're going to take your scissors and you're gonna point your scissors upward, and you're gonna go up to the open corner of the ribbon. And there you go. That's dovetailing your ribbon. First, we are going to start off with our first layer and for our wreath itself. So the first layer consists of the 21-inch mesh, and we have 2 rows on our wreath form. So we have the bottom row and we have the top row. I always start this process, or any process that I'm doing, whether it be the 21-inch mesh, the 9.5-inch mesh, or the ribbons, I always start on the bottom row first, and then I go up to the top row. I keep it consistent, and that's how I do it. So let's go ahead and begin. What I do, I make sure there's a wreath form open, and I take my 21-inch mesh and I roll it inward. So it creates this point right here, and it also creates this funnel in a way to where when I pull on it, it just continuously rolls up. So, and that's how I make my poofs. So let's go ahead and get that started. So we're gonna place it into the wreath form, into the pipe cleaners, and we're gonna twist them twice. And I only twist them twice at this time because I'm gonna have to open these up for each layer that I do. So there's gonna be 2 more layers on top, so it just makes it easier for me. Now, I measure my 21-inch mesh, I measured out to 10 inches. If you don't have a mat, and I showed this in my other videos, it makes it so much easier when you're working with the wreath form, is I just take it to, I count 2 pipe cleaners. That second pipe cleaner is going to be my 10-inch measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it to that pipe cleaner, and that's my 10-inch measurement. And then if you notice, it's going to be my 10-inch measurement. See, there's 10 inches right here. And this is from the pipe cleaners that I'm using right here to the end of the mat, or right here to that pipe cleaner right there. So it equals the same. So if you don't have a mat, just measure to that second pipe cleaner, and then just poof it up and place it into your next pipe cleaner. And we're gonna continue that all the way around. So you're gonna pull, measure, poof, and place. P and PP, pull, measure, poof, and place. And that's okay. You know what? I'm gonna put these on the ground anyway because they're just taking up too much room over here. Okay, so you're gonna pull, measure, poof, and place. That is our PM, PP. And we've made it back to our first pipe cleaner, so we're gonna untie that very carefully so the first one does not fall out. And then we're gonna gently place this one in and we're gonna retie it. Now, I don't cut my 21-inch mesh at this time. I go ahead and I continue. How I do this, I go up to the next row, the top row, and I'm just gonna place it into that pipe cleaner and I'm going to tie it just to hold it secure. And then I'm gonna start the top row of my pipe, of my wreath form. So make sure that the next one's open, the pipe cleaner's open, measure, and then place. Open up that first and place it in there. And there we go. And you're going to cut it about an inch from the pipe cleaner itself. This is where we cut. And there we go. Now what we do is we poof them, because we want to give our wreath dimension here and depth. So we're going to go around and poof. We're going to start the second layer, and that's going to be the Woodland Ruffles. And let me show you how I do that. You're going to need a clip. And what the clip is going to do is it's going to hold one end while you're working the Woodland Ruffle, and I'll show you in just a second what I mean by that. Okay, so how I make my Woodland Ruffle is you start off by rolling one end of the mesh, and I roll it 5 times. You can always use a pair of scissors if this roll gets in your way, because when I first started this roll always got in my way, so I always put a pair of scissors down there. So what I do is I roll this side 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my one side of my Woodland Ruffle. And then I turn it over or turn it around, and I roll this side 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what I do is I pinch it. That's just me. I don't know if everybody does that. That's just, it makes life much easier for me. So I pinch and then I pleat. So I'm going to pull this towards me and make a ruffle. So I have my rolls on each side, and now I'm going to make the ruffle portion. And how I do that is I pull this mesh towards me and I keep it straight. And these lines help me keep it straight. And I'm gonna pleat it as I go. So I'm gonna do that 1 pleat, 2 pleats, 3 pleats, 4 pleats, 5, 6, 7, and about 8 of them is what it's gonna come out to. And then I pinch that other side, and this is what our ruffle looks like. And it's gonna be placed in just like this. This is the part you're gonna see right here. So you take your Woodland Ruffle, or you take your wreath form, you open up the pipe cleaner. You should do this before you start the ruffle itself. And then you place it into the pipe cleaner as far down as you can. So you're gonna push, and you're going to twist the pipe cleaner around it as tight as you can. And I do this twice, again, because I'm gonna have another layer. And I don't want to be opening these up too terribly much. So that's our first ruffle, or Woodland Ruffle right there. And you're going to do that 18 times. So you're going to have 18 of these rolls pre-cut so you can place them in each of the pipe cleaners, and there's 18 pipe cleaners on this wreath form. So again, how we do that is we hold, I use my scissors and I just hold that over there, and I'm gonna roll it. I don't roll it very tight, I just roll it as I feel comfortable right here. So I'm gonna hold the ends with my pinkies, and then I'm gonna roll 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to secure it with my clip. I'm gonna turn it around, and I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna do this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My dog is having a cow tonight, so please excuse her. And then you're going to pinch it right here, and then you're gonna pleat it until you get to the end of the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there we go. And then I'm gonna pinch this side, and then you're going to place it into the pipe cleaner on the wreath form. And you're gonna, again, you're gonna go around this and do this for each one. Push as hard as you can, and then pull as tight as you can, and then just shape your ruffle. And there you go. Okay, and this is our wreath. That's with the 2 layers now, and it is getting a lot thicker and a lot more depth to it, so that's a good thing. So it looks really pretty. I think it looks really farmhousey and really pretty. And so our next layer is going to be the ribbon. And we're gonna place the ribbon. You need to match up your ribbon, how you want it to go. We're gonna go around 18 times, open up your pipe cleaner before you start the ribbon process. Makes life much easier, especially if you're just beginning. This is going to make life much easier for you, okay? So we're gonna alternate all the ribbons. So we have 3, so we're gonna put this one, and then we're gonna place this one, and then we're gonna place this one, and we're gonna keep that pattern all the way around. Now, it may get to a point, because there's, if I counted right, there's 8 pipe cleaners on the top row, 10 on the bottom row. So that's even, and you have odd here. So, you know, you can't do that. So there may be a time where you're going to have to at the end, so you don't have 2 of the same. Sometimes I leave it, because when I put my bows, I really don't care. Sometimes I don't even put ribbon where I'm gonna place my bows. So, you know, it just all depends. But with that being said, if you don't want 2 next to each other, you can always move the same one back 1 pipe cleaner and then put that next one over, if that makes sense. That way it is kind of different. But again, I usually put bows in my wreaths. Let's go forward with it. So again, I start on my bottom row, and I place all my ribbons on the bottom row, and then I go up to the top row of pipe cleaners and I place all those. So let's go ahead and get this started. I'm gonna show you a few, and then I'll fast forward the video so you don't have to sit here and watch me do every single one. So undo. And how we do this, oh, let me tell you this too. I I didn't dovetail this ribbon right here because if I did, it will fray and I don't want it to fray. So I leave it just like this and it looks perfectly fine in there. Fan them outwards, and I'm going to show you that today. I'm going to do that process today. I have been on my other videos, I've been doing the cross on every single pipe cleaner, but this time the outer layer I'm going to fan, and I'll show you that. So this is how I would fan them. I would place one ribbon on top of the other, and I would pleat them together just like that, and it's going to be just like that, okay? And then what you would do, some people even take it an extra step and they bend them, they fold them over just like that, and then they place them into the pipe cleaner just like that. And then what that does, and since this is my last layer that I'm going to add, I'm going to pull it tight and I'm going to tie it 3 times just to give it that extra little secure. And then what I mean by fan, I'm going to take this ribbon, alternate it, and I'm going to have it all coming outwards and none of it's going to go inwards towards the wreath, if that makes sense. So, and then this one is going to come, so you're alternating your ribbons, and then this one's going to be like that. So it kind of mimics a bow in a way if you think about it. So this is how I'm going to do the whole bottom row of this wreath form, and I'll show you that again. So you untie your pipe cleaner. Okay, so you're going to take your ribbon, and this time you have 2 different sizes, a 2.5 and a 1.5. So I will lay the 1.5 on top of the bigger 2.5, and then you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to pleat, and you're going to bend it, put it in, split, yes, bend it, and then you're going to place it into your pipe cleaner, and then secure it 3 times, and then you will just fan your ribbons out. One is going to be facing sideways, and then this one's going to be coming this way, and that one's going to be going that way. And you're going to have to do these again because every time you do place one, it's going to mess up the other one. So at the end, you're going to fluff up your wreath anyway, so don't worry about the ribbons at this point. Just know where they're going to be laying, so prepare that at least, how they're going to be laying, and then you can fluff them up at a later time. So again, I call this the fanning of the ribbons, and that's how we're going to do this bottom row. Okay, I'll do it one more time for you, and then I'll fast forward the video. So open up your pipe cleaner, grab your next ribbon, next pair of ribbons. You place one on top of the other, find the middle, and you're going to pleat it, and then fold it down so it looks like that. Okay, and then you're going to take that and you're going to place it into the pipe cleaner, and you push it as far down as you can into that pipe cleaner, and you twist as tight as you can, and then this one's going to go that way. that is our wreath so far, and it looks really nice. So now we're going to add our centerpiece to this and some bows. So first I'm going to show you how to make my bows, how I do my bows. I think with this wreath I'm going to make 3 bows for this one. And we're going to see how it comes out. I may end up only doing 1 bow, I don't know yet. So let's just play. I mean, that's really all you do, is you just play with these. My husband made me a bow maker. And this is my bow maker right here. It's wide enough for me to see and long enough for me to see, so it's perfect for my old eyes here. I used the ribbon that I used in the wreath itself. However, I'm gonna add 1 ribbon to this one. So I'm gonna add all the ribbons and incorporate all the ribbons into my bow. I'm gonna add 1 extra ribbon into my bow that's not on this wreath. Okay, so the ribbon that I'm gonna add to my bow that's not on the wreath is this brown right here. So I'm gonna add this brown. It's just a solid brown to the bow, and it's gonna make a difference, so I like it. So let's get that started. I'm gonna make my bottom layer of my bow with this ribbon. And how I do this now, I'm not the best bow maker, and I know I say that in every video and everybody's probably tired of hearing that. However, I do like them in my bows. I'm gonna make smaller bows than I normally do, so the measurements are gonna be smaller than I normally do. Also, this is one-sided ribbon, okay? What that means is I'm gonna have to twist this ribbon to bring it to the side I want for each loop of the bow and the tail. And it just the twists are only to keep the ribbon on the correct side for the loops, period. If you have a 2-sided, or like this ribbon right here, it's both. You can use both, so you don't have to twist. You can just keep going, and I'll show you that when we get to this ribbon. So let's get started. I'm gonna do 6-inch bows. So I'm doing an 8-inch tail, and I'm pleating it like I would with my ribbon that I place into the wreath itself for the third layer. You pleat it just like so, and then you're going to, because you want this side of the ribbon to make your loop correctly, so you're going to twist it. So you're going to take your ribbon and you're going to twist it, and you're going to place it into the bow maker. What that did was it brought the bad side upwards. So now when I make my bow, the loop is on the right side of the ribbon. I hope that made sense to you, because believe me, I watched many of videos, and I watched them and I kept watching them. I still did not understand what they were saying. So it took me a while to even get to this point. I had to have a friend actually show me how to make these bows, and I'm still not perfect at it, but I'm much better than I was. Practice does make perfect, so I practice all the time. So I'm gonna make 6-inch bows, or loops. And so there's my 6 inches, and I'm gonna pleat it, twist it on this side, because now the loop is on this side, and you want your ribbon to be on the right facing the right way for your loop. So then you're going to bring your loop 6 inches, just like the other one. But this time you do not have to twist, because the tail is in the right direction. The ribbon is in the right direction for the tail. And then you're going to use your scissors, and you're going to cut your 8-inch tail. And that is how that is. And you're going to do that for each of the loops that you do with this ribbon. Now, I place my bows now the way I want them to look on my bow, my wreath. So I'm going to bring this loop forward, and I'm going to bring the associated tail up with it. And then this loop I'm going to bring down, and I'm going to bring the associated tail down with it. So this is how it's going to look in my wreath right here. So we're going to start with that. And then we move to the next ribbon. So I'm going to place my ribbon, and I'm going to do an 8-inch tail, just like that. And I'm going to pleat the ribbon itself, and then I'm going to twist to make sure it's on the right side for the loop. And then I'm going to make my loop, and I'm going to make this about 5.5 inches. So I go down, actually, you know what, I'm gonna make this 6 inches too. I'm gonna keep this at 6 inches, this one. And so I'm gonna pleat, and we gotta do another loop. So we're gonna twist, place, and what did that do? That made sure that our ribbon is on the correct side when we make this other loop. So we're gonna make that 6 inches, and there it is, and we're gonna pleat it. But we don't have to twist it this time because the tail is facing the right direction. We're gonna cut now 8-inch tail, and there we go. Now, since I started with the loop up on this side last time, I'm gonna bring this loop down this time, okay? And then I'm gonna bring that associated tail with it. So we're gonna bring that around, this around, that around. This tail is gonna go up, and this loop is gonna go up. So that's how we're gonna have our loops. We're gonna alternate every single one of them, okay? And that's basically how it's done. 8-inch tail. I'm gonna bring this into 5.5-inch loops. So I'm gonna twist, bring it down, make your loop. 5.5 inches is what you want. And that's about where it is. And you really want your pleats to be nice because that's really how your loops are gonna lay. So you wanna make sure they're pretty good. And then you're gonna twist. So the ribbon is on the right side for your loop. And you're gonna bring your loop around. And this one's gonna be 5.5 inches as well. You wanna keep it consistent. Make sure your pleats are good, and you don't have to twist it that time, okay? And make sure that they're tight down in there because that's important as well. Okay, so okay, so this is the one that you don't have to twist. It's either side can be used. So you don't even have to do that. You just lay it in, put it in there like that. And then you're gonna do your loop. Oh, see, that's why we have this thing right here. You're gonna do your loop, and you're gonna make it probably about 4.5 inches there. And you don't, again, you don't even have to do that. Look, see, I always forget. You don't have to twist it or anything. You just place it in there. This time you do the same thing, and you just want your bows to be the same, or the loops to be the same size. That's really your goal for these right here. And how you can do that is you can just make sure when you pull them up, they're even. So there you go. And this is gonna be a big bow. So I think if I make 3 bows, I'm not going to use all of the ribbon for every single bow. I may alternate just to change it up a little bit. And I usually try to leave the thinner if I have 1.5s for the top. Okay, and there's the bow right there. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use zip ties, not zip ties, pipe cleaners. And we're going to connect them together as so. And then what we have to do is we have to place this underneath all of this ribbon right here. And so how we do that is, like I said, that's why I alternated the loops with the tails, because it created this area right here that I know my pipe cleaners are going to capture all of the ribbon. And you want to push it down as tight as you can, and you don't want to twist. I feel like I'm twisting the bottom one, so I'm gonna make sure I grab it correctly. And then I want to pull it up a little bit because I need to place my pipe cleaner, make sure everything came up. And then you're gonna put your pipe cleaner. You can always put your pipe cleaner in first. I don't like to do it. A lot of people do it, but I don't personally like to do it. So you're gonna bring that in, and you're gonna bring it around. Don't let your ribbons twist though. That's important, because if they start twisting, you're in a world of trouble. We don't want that to happen. So technically you can leave all of these bows and ribbon or loops and tails straight out and then just fluff them up afterwards. That may be a better way, but you need to alternate them. Maybe next ribbon I'll try that. We'll see. Okay, so you're gonna squeeze it as tight as you can, and you're gonna bring it off of the bow maker. You're gonna bring that pipe cleaner to the back, and you are going to tighten it as tight as you can, and don't let your bows twist, because the moment they twist, like I said, you're in a world of trouble. Like that one's starting to want to twist. You don't want them to twist. You want them to stay the same. And you want it tight. So I try to keep all of my tails, or I try to place all my tails at the bottom. You're not gonna get all of them, and that's okay, because there's a lot of tails on this. So you technically don't have to do this step, but I try, and I like it better. So I just grab the pipe cleaner, and I just start dragging my tails down where I feel like they need to be. And I just bring my bows up as I pulled those down. I bring my bows up because they're all down here. Same thing on this side. I bring my bows up, I bring my tails down. There's a tail. Where does it want to go? Let's see. I think we want them more in the middle here if we're going to place 3 bows. So you just take it apart and you play with it and you put it back together again. That's exactly what we do. Let me try this one. And you're just going to have to go and play with it once it's all there. I think that's where you place the bows more towards the center when you're doing 3 bows. So that's what I did. I placed it more to the center, as you can see. And we'll play with the bows more, but I'm going to make 2 more. These I'm going to not do all the ribbons. We're just going to play. I don't know how this wreath is going to come out, but they're all unique, and so they should be different. So I'm going to start with this one. And these bows are not going to be as full, so they're going to be as big, but not as... And this one you don't have to. That's why I like this one, is because I don't have to think about this one. You just place, start at the 6 inches, and you make your bow 6 inches. And then that's that. And I'm gonna show you this time how I'm gonna leave everything this way, and we'll see how that comes out too. Because I'm telling you, I'm playing with these. Bows are not my expertise on this. So let's see, 8-inch. This one you have to twist, bring down. My worry about this part, doing it this way, is I'm not gonna know which bow goes with which tail. That's the problem. And it may make life more difficult in the long run. That's why I usually place everything at the time that I do my bow. But you know what? We're gonna try it. Let's just do it. I think the only thing I'm gonna keep consistent, if I have enough of it, is this right here. This is gonna be in all three, and it's gonna be on the top of all three. I actually might do this the same, keep it like this too, do these and then this. So we'll see. That's the joy of doing your own wreaths, is you can do whatever you want. And people love it. Okay, you're gonna take 2 pipe cleaners. Not 3. You're gonna take 2 pipe cleaners and you're going to twist them together. Twist, twist, twist. And then you're gonna pinch you gotta stand up for this part. Pinch your bow down, or all your loops and all your tails, and then pull it up and make sure nothing twists under there. Tighten it up. Place your pipe cleaner under there. Bring it around town, as SpongeBob. Around town. And then you're gonna lift it. And you're going to make sure nothing's twisting under there, because I feel one. And then you're going to make it tight. You're gonna do it tight, but don't let anything twist. That's an important step. Don't let anything twist. And what I mean, this tail will like to flip that way, and you don't want that to happen. That's what I mean when I say don't let it twist. Because you're probably going, well, you're twisting them all. Well, don't let those twist. Okay, so I left it the same, all straight. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so normally I do everything with that. So let's see. So this tail, this one, and this tail go together. It's a little bit more difficult, I think, doing it this way, but let's just do it. This tail and this tail go together. Okay, so that's 2. Not too bad so far. Since I put this one up, I'm gonna bring this one down. You know what, maybe I should start with the back first though. Yeah, the bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this tail up. This tail or this loop, and then this tail goes with that loop. This tail goes with that loop. And this tail and this loop go together, so I'm gonna bring it this way. I think it's more difficult. I ain't gonna lie, I think this way is more difficult than the other way was. Okay, and so this one went up, so that means this one's gonna go down. So I'm gonna bring this one down, and the associated tail is gonna come down with it. I personally did not like that, so I won't do that again. I ain't gonna lie, that I didn't like. Because now I don't know what goes where. I'm really confused about this. That's why I place them as I do them. Who knows what this one's gonna look like in there. I may have to redo this one after the fact. We'll see. Let's place it and see what it looks like. That's all you can do, is you can just place it and see what it's gonna look like. We're gonna put this one right here. And I'm gonna flip it over. gonna place this bad boy. I think I broke my I broke my pipe cleaner. That's what I did. I broke it. So what? Big mess. Let's start over. That's what happens. We're gonna do it the right way this time. We can do our tail, scrunch it up, twist it, place it. Bring it around. It's placed. Look, I don't have to think after this, we're good. I just think it's easier just to put these together. Just when you're using the thinner ones like this, just be careful when you twist it, because then it's easier, as you saw, to come apart. So again, you grab, make sure you get all of it, because sometimes the bottom ribbon likes to hang out. So you're gonna put the pipe cleaner in. You're gonna wrap it around. Pinch the ribbons all together. And you're gonna bring it straight up. Pinch it together tight. And then bring the pipe cleaner around and then twist. Don't twist this one too terribly much, because that's what happened last time to that one. So here's our other ribbon. It's smashed already because I've been playing with it too much, but we'll fix that. That's the joy of this stuff. You can fix anything. And there, I need to pull it a little bit more, so that's not even tight enough. So bring it back around, untie it. Ooh, we're learning a lot together tonight. So pull it tight so it's in there, and then twist them. And now let's see. Okay, that's better. Okay. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. So that's 2 of the bows. Again, this is my first time doing this type of wreath, so please forgive me. We're going to see how it comes out together. Anyway, I'm done fussing. Let's do the 3rd bow. Okay. Same thing. Off to a good start on this one. Woo! So bow down, or loop down, tail up, tail down, loop up. Now you're alternating loops and tails. That's all you're doing. And you keep the associated tail with the loops together. That's all you're doing. Look, that's so much more easier than that other crap. What was that crap? Stressing me out. I need more coffee after that. Place it right here. I'm holding the pipe cleaners underneath where I'm going to tie it, and then I'm just fluffing it up just to see what it's, if I need to move it over at all, what I need to do. So I think it's pretty good right there. I'm going to flip it over. Pull it tight, There we go. Pull it tight because you want it to come in a little bit. Secure it. And there, whoo, we got 3 bows on this sucker. Okay, so we'll fluff it up a little bit more. I'm gonna cut the tails. I'm gonna dovetail them. And then I'm going to place my sign, and then I'm gonna fluff this baby up. So what I do is I dovetail my tails. You fold it over, and then you cut. These are our 3 bows. Oh, now we're gonna place the sign. So we gotta figure out where we want the sign at. We have to prepare the sign. So let me move this out of the way. I don't want this wire on the sign. So I'm gonna take it off. I don't want this bow on this sign, so I'm gonna take it off. There's the bow. We're gonna make our own bow. And then I wanna take this wire off. And how I will do that is I'm gonna cut it. Sometimes I keep these for other projects. Sometimes I just cut them and be done with it. And then we're just gonna cut this one. Oh, don't do that. And there's our sign. Big enough. Make sure you cut it big enough. You can always cut down, but you can't add to it. So now I'm gonna have to do a bigger one. Let's see. That's probably too big, but no, that'd be good. So I'm just going to hot glue it together. And make sure it's straight. I want it straight. And then what you're going to do is going to pleat it up like you did with everything else. Fan it out just like that. Sometimes I put this around it. Maybe I will. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to use this one actually. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Put a little bit of glue. I'm going to snip that off. And just like any other bow, you gotta play with them and get them to do what you want. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna place that on there. Do it big enough so it'll stay. But don't cover up your words. I'm going to take that and I'm going to bring it up there. Now, I use a staple gun for this next part because I want to secure it onto the wreath itself. So what we do is we turn the thing over, and I'm going to place two staples in it. I'm gonna put two pipe cleaners together. And then I'm going to place them inside the staple and twist it to secure it together. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. And I got this sign at Hobby Lobby. I love this sign at Hobby Lobby. I get it at the 50% off and it's only $5. You can't beat that. All right, so now you have to find a place for this. And I'm going to try to use it without putting it on my tripod, but we'll see if I can. We'll see if it works out for me. Let's see how it works out. Okay, there's my bows. There's a bow. Here's a bow. Here's a bow. And see, there's a tail I missed. I missed this tail. And I always try to do the inner side first to secure it, only because I know that's where I want it to be. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring it down, like down here a little bit. I'm gonna pull this through. I'm not going to tighten it because I got to make sure that it's on right. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to flip it back over. I have a hidden bow down here, or loop down here somewhere. There it is. Okay. Bring that up because I want all my bow stuff up. I may have to hide some at the end, but right now I want it shown. Okay. Tell me what you like. Do you like 3 bows, 1 bow? What is your favorite? Okay, and then I'm gonna place this other side. I'm gonna put it right here, down in this area. So I need to find the hole. And it goes Now, you see how the sign is kind of hidden right here? You see how that's kind of hidden? I gotta fix it up. I gotta bring all my bows upwards. I might have to throw some behind, just so you can see the sign, but let's just see what we can do here. Let me hang it up and I will be back with you and we will see what we did here.